Hello everyone and welcome back to Farming Simulator 22. We're back here on No Man's Land with Grober Games. So last month we ended up mainly just getting chopping done. We got all our field work done. And if you missed last episode, I decided to turn on the Precision DLC. And right now we're going to do kind of a play-by-play for the next 2 months. It'll be kind of like little bits of things that are going on. And I had to make myself a little list because I couldn't keep everything straight myself for what we need yet for like what is kind of a priority, so to speak, I should say. So right now we are hauling corn to town. We're gonna be selling all our corn off today because it's hit the price of like $850, $860ish for per 1,000 liters, and I don't see it getting much higher than that right now for the next few months, so we're gonna end up selling all this off. And I've kind of compiled a list, like I was saying earlier, I've compiled a list of things that we need. So stuff related to the BGA, I need a conveyor, a slurry tank to haul the digestate to our fields, and then I also have a certain wagon on there, just because there's a way. I figured out a way where I can just offload it from that silo. And I need a wagon and the conveyor to make it works. So that way I don't have to just keep filling up wagons and then hauling it over to dump. I could just kind of leave a wagon underneath there and dump it onto the conveyor while it's dumping into the BGA. So we're going to end up doing that. That'll be that's more of our priority purchase right now. This morning I kind of checked the used market. There wasn't anything worthwhile. I mean, the 8R would be the only thing for us, but we don't need a tractor that new or big. I kind of want to stick a little bit of the older equipment yet. And I kind of do quotes with older equipment just because with the Precision DLC, we're gonna invest into some newer things, but we're gonna end up still trying to use as much much of older equipment as I got right now, like the 9195, the 5288 red, the case, the 4020, and the Oliver yet. So basically, we're gonna pick up this wagon here, and it's just gonna be kind of like a little dummy wagon for the conveyor, and then we still need to pick up this conveyor here to kind of make everything work. I actually think. For some reason I thought I seen that one of these conveyors could work for it. It is a belt conveyor, so it would still, well, that's something I'll have to experiment with in my off time before we fully commit to that. That way I know for sure. So that's going to be one of the first few main purchases, like more of the priority purchases. I still haven't settled on a slurry tanker, and I still haven't settled if I just want a top spread one, or if I want to buy the slurry tanker where I can use an injector and then I could inject the digestate and cultivate the field at the same time. That would probably be the best route for us to go, especially since we got the 9195 now, and it's got more than enough horsepower to handle probably most of the equipment that we'll start looking at to upgrade, so to speak. And we'll kind of take a look here at that as well. Like I said, this episode is going to be kind of a wonkier one. There might not seem as much going on. It's going to be kind of talking through the process of all the things we need yet and all the items I kind of have on my list here that I kind of have it prioritized. Like, one of the things I got for related to Precision is obviously buying that sensor, and then we're gonna buy a side dresser. But for us to make that work, we're gonna need to buy another tractor. And I'm sitting here going back and forth right now about, just a second here. Sorry, I had somebody caught in my throat. I had to take a drink there. So I'm going back and forth. The only tractors that we can get with like the front attacher hitch to work on is mainly front wheel drive are front wheel assist tractors, and there's two I'm looking at. They're both John Deere's. The one is the 6010, and the one is the 7000 Premium Series. And I'm deciding if I want to sell off the 5288. I kind of and I kind of don't. And the reason is that we don't really need that 5288 anymore. Granted, I could sell off something like the Oliver or the 4020 for that matter, but I feel like those will have more of a better role to fill than keeping the 5288 around. But like I said, I'm kind of going back and forth with it right now. And it's just one of those things I haven't fully decided on yet. Fill that up as well. And 7000 series, I think, was going to run us 100 some thousand, because I was planning with this series is it'll be the tractor the tractor with GPS on it, especially since. So if we decide to get rid of that 5288, we'll be using the new John Deere tractor as our main primary tractor for planting and for spraying and for side dressing. So it'll have quite the workload for it already as is, because we'll be putting the row crop tires on it. And if we need it to, it'll still have enough power to kind of do what we needed to this year for everything, if that makes sense. Like when we decided we were going to start chopping, we decided to put the duals on the 5288 and have that chisel plow instead. But I don't really want to let that tractor go either, but we don't really need 5 tractors sitting around the farm. We're not to that point where we really need that many yet. So maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll sell that 5288 and we'll do a slight upgrade, and maybe we'll go for the 7000, because it'll be rough. I think it was like the 7520. I'll kind of pull it up here in a second and kind of show you what I'm thinking. But there's a few options for tractors where we can get the front hitch on, so that way we can do like precision somewhat on the series and try to not keep our store from totally tanking us, but it'll be something we'll mess around with, so to speak. So let's get this here. I think I gotta make 4 trips in today, so this will probably actually take most of this month for hauling. So let's see here. So what I'm looking at, we got quite a few options. So let's see here. So this is what I'm thinking of for when I say the 7000 Premium. So we would get the row crops with the wheel weights, and then we have the options to go. Oh, yeah, we're gonna go row crop narrows with weights, and then we have the option to put duals on it if we need to run it, and we'll obviously be putting the Starfire GPS system on it. I don't think we really need triple link suspension. We might put it on there just to have it. And we don't need that. Attachers. So we're going to go with the 7520 IVT. So that's $125,000 setup right there, which is a fairly expensive setup, but it's not such a new piece of equipment that it would somewhat fit our farm. Otherwise, the other thing I was looking at was the 6010, but that's kind of that'd be, if we would go with the 6010, I would want to keep the 5288, because the 6010 series is kind of a smaller tractor. It'd be something more similar to like the Oliver or the 4020 for horsepower wise. It would have a little bit more than both of them, but like I said, it's something I'm going back and forth on. After just kind of talking it out loud, I think it makes more sense for us to sell that 5288, unfortunately, and get rid of that. Because I don't, there's not much other options that I saw for Case to kind of keep the red tractor around with the front hitch. Like, there is one I really wanted. Well, maybe. I'll have to look and see at the 8900. Because maybe we can make the 89. Maybe we can sell the 52, trade the 5288 in. And we could just trade it in towards a case with a front hitch and row crop wheels that'll work. Because that's the main issue I'm having is like some of these older like tractor mods, they're labeled row crop tires, but they don't work as row crop tires. So that's why I keep bouncing around here on what we should be looking at. And then the other thing I have on my list is like upgrades I would like to do at some point this year or finish out this year, so to speak. So the other thing I have on here is building. So we'll have a silo, the dairy, and then cattle, and then I'd like to buy our own livestock trailer so we can go pick up our own cattle and skip out on the delivery fee. And what I would like to upgrade, the one thing I would like to upgrade before we start this season, which I think I'm going to look into after we get all this corn hauled today, is a new spreader. Just something a little bigger that we can use to start liming and everything. So that is the top of my list for upgrades. And then next would be the baler and sprayer and a planter as well, because I'd like to get a bigger planter before we start going into anything else. So yeah, we'll have one more set of wagons of corn to haul in. So maybe, all right. So when we haul this next set in, we'll take a look at it here, and then I'll probably cut away to the next month here, and we'll kind of go over what we'd be doing that month, because March we have to start getting our oats drilled in. And that's another thing on my list too, is to upgrade a drill, and I said that quite a while back and never got around to it, but that's something we should definitely look into upgrading on the list. And the last upgrade I have on my list of things I like to do is I'm thinking about getting rid of our 6600 combine, and I'm leaning towards another John Deere. But the last few times, quite a few times throughout the series, we had a Case combine come up for sale that would have been a nice size combine for our farm. It's just that I didn't want to upgrade too soon type thing, and it might have been a bad thing to skip out on an opportunity like that. But it's just kind of the way I wanted to handle this series. But I wonder. Yeah, nothing else. Sometimes that used market has an extra item or two at the end, so I wanted to make sure I didn't miss out on anything while we were talking about that. But we're gonna spend most of this month hauling our corn in. The Oliver's also back at the sawmill, just so you know, and I got all the planks over there moved so we can still keep producing lumber over there. And I haven't done anything with lumbering with timber over there yet. And I'm not sure if I will this season, so to speak. So let's go back here. Lord knows I have more than enough tractor mods. So I would have liked to use this one, but the issue is that the row crop, it doesn't really have I like the row crop tires where I can keep the hub for duals on there, and unfortunately these ones don't work for that. But I wonder. Let's see. Do you have? Okay, well that one can't have a front front attacher on it. This one probably can. Yeah, the 72 series. But I used that tractor quite a bit when I was first playing it. Farming Simulator. Well, that one more or less, this Pro series. I'd rather use something a little newer, a little different, and I never used the Premium series, so I think that's what we'll stick with for now. Or we could go with the 7810 maybe. Nah. We're gonna stick with the Premium. I like the Premium a little bit more, a little bit better. Actually, we got a 7100 too. Yeah, so that also doesn't have. Or, well, I think the T6 will be a little bit too much of a newer series tractor. Designs. I like that, but nah, we're gonna stick with the 7000, the 7020 Premium series. I made up my mind because the other thing is the 6010 would work on the side dresser as well, but it's just such a smaller frame tractor that it would look really goofy on there. So I think we're gonna stay away from that. Even the 6020 Premium series looks really small on it. Or the 83. I need to stop looking. I'm not helping my situation. I'm making this worse right now. I kind of like that. E5 series. Actually, that might be a viable option. I used this tractor quite a bit in when I was playing. While playing 19 as well. But how much power can we get out of you? Aren't 25? For what will you be spending on that, though? Aren't 25? Nah, we're just gonna stick with the Premium. We're just gonna stick. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna flip a coin later between that New Holland / Ford and the Premium, because if we get that New Holland Ford, we can keep the 5288 on the farm, even though we don't. Well, what's the 5288? That's 100. That's 100 some horsepower, ain't it? Can't even remember where the menu is at for stuff you own. There it is. That's leased. All tractors, medium. 141 horse. See, it doesn't make sense to do that. To downgrade a tractor. Be better to keep the same size and upgrade. So I think we're more than likely going to go with a 7020. But I'll flip a coin here and make up my mind then. Who knows? Maybe I'll change it before then. But we'll jump ahead here in the next month. So we'll see you guys in a bit. Welcome back, everyone. We're in the month of February. I didn't get much done last month, as you will soon find out here why I didn't get too much done after we left off. So right now, I went ahead and bought the conveyor and this little wagon to make the whole shindig work here. So let's see how this goes. Oh, in testing, I got this to work. We'll see how well it does here. Oh, nope, don't want to do that. Let's stop that. I forgot to switch. Oh, where is it? I want to switch grain door. Because it'll dump slow enough for everything to work out. And we're filling up our plant now. We're just getting digestate made. We got about 32,000 liters left, so we're picking a pretty good time to start doing this. But this is basically how I'll be handling our silage. Just this little contraption setup. I can kind of hopefully leave it, and it'll be able to won't have to babysit it. I think the wagon's at its highest point. It's still filling up, right? Yep. So I think it's slowly gonna fill up faster than it can dump it, but that's fine. It's not the worst case in this scenario. And as probably some of you who are paying attention, I do have the 5288 load up. I decided we gotta let it go. It was a good tractor for what we used it for. It was not the first tractor I thought we'd be getting rid of. I'm sure most people thought we'd be getting rid of the Oliver, but that thing's gonna stay here as long as I possibly can. Even if I have to just place it on a mountain somewhere to idolize the first tractor. But we're gonna get rid of the 5288. I was thinking back about maybe picking up that New Holland with the front lifter, but it's just not gonna work out in the end. I feel like the 5288 couldn't really handle pulling that cultivator, and if we get that 7020, I think it's gonna handle it a little bit better than the 5288, and we'll end up getting duals on that 7020 as well. But we're also gonna head up here while we're bringing this in. We're gonna be selling off a bunch of other stuff as well. So we're gonna end up picking up that. I don't know if we'll pick up that 7020 today. I haven't decided yet. The big thing we're gonna pick up is, for sure, we're gonna pick up a bigger fertilizer spreader. We'll get this fired up here. I will actually miss this tractor though. It was a nice tractor, but like I said, it just didn't have the power to pull the field cultivator. Granted, I know that's what we got the white for now, but if we run into a situation where we need to start chopping silage and I need to put something on the field cultivator or something like that, I'm not going to be able to really rely on this as much. So, but we got all the equipment here. I decided we're going to sell off the plow since we got our chisel plow now. We don't really have a use for our international plow. We're going to obviously sell off our Vicon's fertilizer spreader. We covered quite a few acres with that thing. Sell off our used disc that we only used for one season. And we're selling off our bale wrappers since we got our silage set up now the way I want it. So we're going to have ourselves a little fire sale here. So about 2,300 there, a little over 19 there, 15 there, 43 there, and 34 for the tractor. So we made $62,000 off all our equipment we just sold. And for fertilizer spreaders, I think we're going to go with the... Oh, let's see. We're going to go with the Wilmer spreader. Oop. So we'll just put the slow-moving vehicle sign in the left-hand corner. Put extra lights on that. And I kind of like the black better. Feels a little bit better with the tarp. So we're going to pick that up. And then we're also going to pick up 450. I can't remember. I think, yeah, they're cheaper. We'll go with 4 bags of lime. You know what? I just have a brilliant idea too. Oh, we're gonna back this up here. See if we can even hook it up to this. I know certain items are very finicky when they come to hook it up to the back of the trailer here. I'm kind of watching the clock. I'm hoping we... There we go. We'll get this completely filled up with lime. We'll haul that back to the farm, and we'll be able to start spreading lime here. But no, I decided we're gonna go with the 77,000 premium series John Deere. Just because I like the look of it. I just think it's gonna be a better fit for our farm. Oh. Did we empty that whole thing? Or did we? Nope, we did not. Not yet. I wonder if it got pushed itself a little too far ahead. Oh, I know what it probably did. There we go. I'm guessing we must have got too far away and shut off. I didn't turn that disable engine shut off mod yet. But look at that. I wonder... Hope that's set to sell right away. At least it should be selling automatically. Yeah, that should be selling, not storing. Sell the electrical, sell the methane. And we'll be storing the digestate. That's probably why we haven't been making any money. Well, how much storage do we have left in this silo? Oh, maybe we actually did sell it. Maybe we did get rid of all of it. We must have. But this is how we're going to be handling our silage for our BGA. We might put up another silo one day, but I don't think we'll need to get to that point. But we'll see what happens. That's kind of why I left a bunch of space over here, just in case I want to put up a second silo. I think these things could hold quite a bit. I never figured out what the max capacity that they are on there. Capacity was on there. Whoa. Oh. Go back here. We'll haul this back for now. And I'm hoping we might speed up time here a little bit quick as well, because I want to close. We're going to close this episode out shortly. This is probably going to be one of my least favorite episodes, just because I spent most of the time just rambling and such, talking about what the plans are, and we don't really have like 2 to 4 months that we're covering stuff. It's just 2 months right now. And the only other thing I might work on this month is getting some of the fields limed. And we might pull the white out, and we might get our we'll probably end up getting the field that we're planning to put oats in done, and I think we're going to put another grass field in as well, and I think we're going to put the grass field right there next to the plant, so that way we don't have too far to haul after chopping. And I think trying to figure out where I want to put the oats field at. Trying to decide if we want to put just one of those 2 fields out there. That might be the best route. Or if we put it out where it's further along the road on our way in. One of those 2 places. So let's get this stuff shut off. I think we're done. Yeah, we're done for now. So you know what? Oh. Let's shut that off for now. Let's unhook that, leave it there. And let's speed up time a little bit here. There we go. And we should be seeing a good amount of income coming, I believe. There we go. So let's put that back down. So we just... I think we made about $60,000. But we didn't make too bad of money off there. We still got 30,000 liters of silage to sell. But the issue that we're running into now is I still haven't bought our slurry spreader yet. I still really haven't decided on the slurry spreader either, so I think this was the one I was ultimately going to decide on because it has, yeah, that makes the most sense. I think that's what probably we'll end up going with. You know what? We're just going to wrap this episode up right now. I know I said I was going to buy that new John Deere, but I think that slurry, we need to use that for all this free digestate to our advantage, so we're probably going to, just hold off on buying that John Deere. The only other thing I'll check here quick, just because I'm kind of like, I got that itch to spend the money and get it right away. I'm sure you guys feel that once in a while too. 1900, that's horrible. Shoot. So we might just have to wait a little bit. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna have to do. We're just gonna have to wait till next month, and we'll just have to do everything with the 4020 and the Oliver. We'll have to bring that back home and get everything done as well. But you know what? But yeah, this is where we're gonna end the episode today. Like I said, I'm sorry for taking so much of your time for all the rambling I did, but I kind of knew this was gonna happen just because I'm crunched for time and to get stuff out, and I'm just got so many things on my list I have made here that I would like to get this year done, and we just don't have the funding yet. But that's fine. But we're gonna end the episode today. If you guys stuck it out through this episode, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video today, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. If you're enjoying the content, please subscribe so you can stay up to date on the latest series. Above all else, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. And most of all, thanks for watching.